Welcome to the Miami Sports Vibes YouTube channel. Here talking about a Dolphins preseason win. Listen, I am excited. Any win is a good win. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care if it doesn't count. I absolutely will take a Dolphins victory. So let's touch about this game and let's talk about Quinn Ewers a lot on this YouTube video. But before we get to that, let's start it off with my takeaways from this preseason victory against Detroit. So that wraps up the week. You had two joint practices where you got pretty much owned the first practice. You bounce back the second one, and now this is the third thing here, which is winning the preseason game. Put a check mark on that. So I got to say first, all starters did get the rest for both teams. So you got no starters out there for Detroit and no real starters out there for the Miami Dolphins. Besides Jonah, who did get some reps in, and Kenneth Grant. Those are the only two players out of that first team for each of the Dolphins that did get some reps. Very small sample size, but they did get some work in. So that's good to see. I will have to say, man, my boy D. Eskridge, I mean, huge shout out to him. This guy has continued to make a name for himself throughout training camp and in these preseason matchups. Again, having that good chemistry with Zach Wilson, they connected for a touchdown and multiple big plays. He continues to make a case for himself. I was over here on my show saying this guy could be wide receiver 3. Now, Malik Washington has definitely won me over, and I think he has better upside because he's younger. So let's give wide receiver 4 a look. I think D. Eskridge is better than NWI. I think he's better than Taj Washington. And I also think the way he's been performing all training camp consistently, you saw him even moss somebody in the joint practice against Detroit. Listen, this guy has to be wide receiver 4. I just don't see any other way. And he's also very valuable in special teams. So, I mean, shout out D. Eskridge, man. I do want to talk about Zach Wilson's performance, man. This was a game that I was quite disappointed in him, man. I was not happy with his results, the way he played against Chicago. Really wanted him to bounce back. And this is a guy who I wanted to bring in. I wanted him to work with Mike McDaniel, and I thought that there was potential there, him being a former number 2 overall pick. He's had a solid training camp. Of course, there's a couple blunders here and there, but pretty solid training camp. But it's not really translating into the preseason so far. I'm still seeing a lot of the things that were his issues in this previous stints, whether he was in Denver and especially with the New York Jets, where he's just holding on to that football way too long. All right. You can talk about the offensive line depth. You can say that the O-line doesn't hold up, but at the same time, you got to get the ball out, especially fourth down. I mean, there was a fourth down play where he took a sack, and he constantly takes sacks. Like, it's better to at least give your receivers a chance, man. Even if you got a split second, I mean, it's better for you to take a chance than to just do a turnover on downs and get sacked. And that's been his issue, and I have yet to see him correct it. Also, he did miss somebody. Could have been a wide open touchdown if he hit him in stride. And Zach Wilson is known for having a pretty damn good arm. Underthrew somebody. Definitely don't like to see that. I definitely need to see more from Zach Wilson to feel better heading into the season because, man, Quinn Ewers, he's able to deliver with a bad offensive line. Why can't you? All right, so I don't want to hear much excuses for Zach Wilson. Hopefully he turns things around. I mean, he'll have the opportunity against Jacksonville, so that remains to be seen. Grayson Murphy, a guy who definitely deserves credit. He picks up a sack in this preseason, and he's also been making a name for himself throughout this entire preseason. I've been very pleased with Grayson Murphy. Cornell Armstrong, listen, my boy, you could have broken up a pass. Instead, you got scored on. I definitely didn't like to see that, and I will tell you right now, I'm out on Cornell Armstrong. I just am. Take it for what you will. I'm out on Sheffield. Listen, my cornerbacks go straight like this. I'm going Storm Duck. I'm going Jack Jones, a guy who can make plays in Jack Jones. All right. He's very aggressive. He gambles a lot, no doubt about it, but I like that. I need that dog. Storm, we know about Storm. Mike Hilton, I'm taking him. I love him in that nickel position. I think he is the best guy to guard that position that we have. I'm taking my chance at the young Marshall that we just drafted, and I'm going Ethan Bonner. Ethan Bonner he's earned it. All right. He's had multiple training camps with us where he has made a name for himself. He's a Fangio guy. Fangio knows what the hell he's talking about here. So I'll go with those guys. I really don't know how I feel about Cam Smith making this team at all, to be honest, even though he made some plays here and there throughout the preseason today. I just don't know. But let's talk about the main event. And that's Quinn Ewers, man. He comes into this game and starts freaking dealing. This guy, I'm telling you right now, I like this guy in Texas. All right, he had a down year, but I liked him before this down year, and he was projected to be, I mean, a super super high pick. This was a steal from the get go. All right, and now he's had a good training camp. He's impressed a lot of people. Now this preseason game, you're gonna hear the chatter a little bit, but I would be, I would pump the brakes a little bit, Dolphin fans. I think we might have got somebody here, but we want to make sure that things happen organically. You want him to compete for positions. You want him to continue to develop. He is not a finished product just yet, but boy, did we see some things that we could like. Really impressive throws, throws on the run, throws in tight windows, throws with pressure all over him. I mean, we talked about the offensive line. I mean, he barely has time to throw, and he's out there delivering throws. I was very, very impressed from Quinn Ewers. I mean, big time throws. Both touchdowns to Theo Weiss, which was he's another guy who made a tremendous amount of plays today. I will say that he definitely gets credit catching 2 touchdown passes, both from Quinn Ewers, and both in the like big time situations too. Big time situations in the clutch. Also, I mean, I have to talk about this. First of all, the Dolphins are up 21-17. You're fourth and goal about inside the 10-yard line, I believe they were. And then Mike McDaniel goes for a field goal with Quinn Ewers out there. I didn't like that at all. All right, you're up by 4 at that point. It's preseason. What are you playing for a potential tie here? Like, no, I want to see what Quinn Ewers got on fourth and goal. Try to draw some plays with him and try to see if he can deliver a touchdown. That would be huge for his growth. That's what I thought. I would have done that there because you're up 4. Then you're just playing for your defense not to give up a touchdown. If you give up a touchdown, so be it. But they can't tie it with a field goal because you're up by 4. I'd much rather have had that live rep there on a fourth and goal with Quinn Ewers right there. But that's neither here or there. Definitely want to give my 2 cents on that one. Dolphins did get the stop, though. They did hold on to the victory. Tremendous play, game-winning interception by Ethan Robinson. I mean, that was tremendous, tremendous, tremendous play. Outstanding. And the Dolphins got themselves a victory. So they end the week after starting it on a bad note in Detroit. They ended it on a high note, which is definitely good. Remember, penalties last game were at a 10, but let's check out the stats from this past game, and let's talk about it real quick, and let's see if the Dolphins improved in any area. So the stats, Zach Wilson, as I mentioned, 15 for 23, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. It looks good, but like I said, plenty of issues there that were alarming that I want to see him fix because I just think he's way better than what we saw. Quinn Ewers, as I mentioned, 11 for 17, 116 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Very impressive performance, 0 sacks as well. Ollie Gordon did his thing, mixed in with 10 carries for 50 yards. Like to see that. Jalen Wright, 4 carries for 3 yards. I'm starting to really get worried about that man. I am not even going to lie to you. Jalen Wright has been a huge disappointment as of late. We talk about Theo Weiss. He had 6 receptions for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. My boy D. Eskridge, 3 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Love to see that. Tanner Connor, listen, he was getting busy out there with Zach Wilson. I will definitely give him credit. 6 receptions for 48 yards, and then Taj Washington, 4 for 33. And then as far as the penalties goes, which I always like to look at the penalties, the Dolphins still didn't really improve. Obviously, you had less penalties with 9, but at the end of the day, just 9 penalties giving up 60 yards is a recipe to lose football games. Now, the Lions did worse than you. They had 13 penalties, but I want to see this team play better, clean football, regardless if there's second strings out there, regardless if there's third string out there. Penalties is not a good habit to get into, and I definitely want this team to minimize that going forward. I do like that they won time of possession just barely at the end of the day, but I have to give credit where credit is due. I'm always looking at time of possessions, and I'm always looking at the penalties. So definitely want the Dolphins to clean that up. But overall, listen, it's a Dolphins win against the Lions. You responded to the joint practice after you got punched in the mouth in day 1. So I think there was plenty improvement this week, and I think you ended the week on a high note going into next week. Road trip is over. You're going back home. You're playing against the Jaguars at home, probably the dress rehearsal. You got to join practice in there. And this is a huge opportunity here. for the Dolphins to really start building some great habits leading into this bye week coming up after and into the regular season and take off from there. This Dolphins team got potential, man. And that Quinn Ewers, boy, like I said, I think we got something, man. That boy made some big time throws, and I like what I'm seeing. I will have more videos for you guys next week, so keep it locked in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that thumbs up button to support. See you guys next time. Peace.